Many Christians I know would love for someone to come alongside them to help them grow in their faith. Unfortunately, studies show that the majority of Christians in the United States aren't actively helping anyone walk out their faith. And more than a third of those people are sitting on the sidelines because they don't feel qualified or equipped to do that. So if that's you, if you're thinking, I would love to help people take the next steps in their faith, but I don't feel qualified or equipped, here's an incredibly simple 4-step process that requires essentially zero expertise and can genuinely move people closer to Jesus and deeper into their faith. Step 1 is just to prayerfully consider and say, like, Lord, who are you at work in my life where I can come alongside the work that you're already doing and encourage that person? What I'm talking about right now isn't evangelism. It's not going out and talking to people who don't know Jesus. I'm looking for people for whom God is already their top priority, and they're trying to figure out what do next steps look like for me. It should be someone that you love and care for, that you have a relationship with, and ideally someone that you're already having faith conversations with on at least some of the time. Step 2 is talk with that person about how God is stirring them. Part of what we believe as Christians is that the Holy Spirit is at work within us. And so it's not my job to figure out how somebody else needs to grow next in their faith. If you're wondering, like, how do I have those kinds of conversations? A couple questions that could be helpful are, what has God been teaching you? What has God been drawing your attention towards lately? What's been on your heart lately? What's something you've been feeling convicted about? And then, as someone says, like, oh man, I have been really convicted about just reading my Bible more, the question to ask next is, well, what's your plan? And then let them make the plan. So they get to establish, in light of what God's already doing in them, like, yeah, this is what God's doing. And then asking that question of, like, well, yeah, what's your next step? So then step 3 is just following up with them again, ideally, I think kind of in the next week. I know for myself, and maybe you have experienced this as well, but it's easy to feel convicted about something for a minute and then forget about it moments later, days later at the very least. So remember what they shared with you. Write it down if you need to. Note action items. So if they said, man, I really would like to be reading my Bible more, and they said, I'm planning to be waking up at 5:30 to spend some time before the kids are up. Like, knowing those kinds of things to ask. One option is that if you feel awkward reaching out of the blue to follow up later about, hey, how's that thing going? You can ask for permission to follow up. I think this is especially helpful if somebody has shared something really personal, but to say, like, do you mind if I follow up and see how that's going? Step 4, pray for them. Bonhoeffer says that when there are people in your life who you're trying to help move closer to God, you should be talking to God more about them than you are talking to them about God, which I just think really right sides the way that this relationship should happen. And so be praying for these people. Pray for next steps, etc. Dallas Willard says that prayer is talking with God about the things that the two of you are doing together, which I think is a beautiful picture for this, especially in light of coming alongside folks. So that's it. 4 simple steps, but just a couple other kind of thoughts or ideas. First, if you are doing this all from a place of love, it really does flow naturally. It's easy to pray for people when we genuinely care about them and love them. And when we're praying for people, they come to mind, and then it's easier to remember to check in. You will be amazed, I promise, at the fruit that can come from such a simple process, and both in them and in you. One big disclaimer is that it's probably not your job to make sure that they are following through on things. Use your judgment, but if somebody says, I'm convicted about doing this, and then you check in once or twice and they're not doing it, I would step out and not be an egg in that, and then being able to be attentive to, like, okay, what else is God doing? Or what are they talking about, and where are they at? Obviously, the stronger your relationship is, the more weight you will have in their life. And part of that will be based on how long you've been in relationship, but also sharing deeply tends to help people go deeper. So, and make sure you're reciprocating. Make sure that you're also sharing the things that God is doing in your life and the things that you are working on. There is so much more that could be said about all of this. I have like 16 additional notes. I'm like, oh, well, maybe we should talk about this or the nuance in that kind of situation. But I don't want to overcomplicate things. It really is this simple. And then you grow and build up a broader repertoire as you put these things into practice. I'm curious if there are things that you have done to come alongside other people that you have experience with, that you've seen fruit from. I would love to hear about those in the comments. If you're interested in more videos like this about how we love God with all our heart, soul, mind, and strength, how we follow Jesus with a whole life devotion, like and subscribe. I'm trying to do this more often, which I think I say like in 20% of the videos, but maybe this time is the time.